Hello, and welcome to Character Class. Today, today I would like to talk to you about 5 mistakes that players of Vampire the Masquerade make. That's right, 5 mistakes that vampire players make. And they are fairly simple mistakes. One of them uh, kind of depends on the ST that you have, and we'll get into that. So let's jump right into it and have a look at the mistakes. As always, they're in no particular order, just happens to be how I had them written down. So, number 5 is that players don't often, new players especially, but it's a mistake old players make too. They don't often think about the traditions of the masquerade. Now, the traditions of the masquerade are in place for vampire society, and it's what keeps them hidden because it's like you don't break the masquerade by using your powers. Um, it's how you deal with the prince of the city, vampires who have domain, um, and so on and so forth. The right of progeny and whatnot. Now, a lot of these masquerades are set up by the prince of the city, and they tend to be laid out by the ST to the vampires so that they know. Now, a lot of players don't think about that when they're role playing. They get caught up in the moment and they don't realize that they're breaking the masquerade until it's already done. And this is one of the mistakes because they don't realize they're like, oh, I'll just attack this guy and drain them of their blood, right? Or I'm hungry, I'm going to go feed and drain this guy of his blood and leave his body there and not close the wounds. That's a masquerade violation. And it can build up to the point that your character gets a blood hunt called on them because they are a flagrant uh, violation to the masquerade. It's a problem, uh, and it's something that can endanger a character, and it's something that the players. It's one of those mistakes that they make. So if you are going to play Vampire the Masquerade, read those traditions. You want to know them. You want to know what you should and shouldn't do. Uh, so that's one of the mistakes. Number 4 is backstory. Now, I've mentioned backstory and history many times in my videos because I believe it is important. And it is equally important, if not more so, with a vampire because a lot of players who like to play vampire, they tend to go in with the uh, with the outlook of I'm going to make a Bruja vampire or I'm going to make a Malkavian vampire, and they don't give any thought to um, their character before they became a vampire. Because they weren't always a vampire. They had to have been human once. They had to have been a living person before the embrace. And you need to really look at that to get a good idea of your character. The more, as I've always said, the more backstory you have, the more of a grasp you have of what your character is like before you even play them, the better role playing experience you will have. And this is equally true with Vampire. Um, you will make a better character if you know what your vampire was like before they became a vampire, how they became a vampire, and so on. So if you want to do that, that is what you should do. All right, number 3. Number 3 is your flaws. People don't pay attention to flaws, and I'm not talking uh, just the flaws that give you extra points. I'm talking clan flaws as well. People don't, Players don't pay attention to them sometimes. And this is a mistake, especially if it's a clan flaw, because that's something you can never get away from. They like to not pay attention, not role play them. And if you have an ST that is paying attention to these things, they can penalize you for it, for not playing your flaws. Or you can run into a situation where your character has, for example, the child flaw, and they want to go into a place where children would not be allowed, like a nightclub or a strip club, uh, and having your character just get buffed because of that, and you as a player might get upset because you want to be a part of this scene, and you didn't realize, you didn't pay attention to your flaws. So it's always good to know what your flaws are and know when they are applicable. It is not just the storyteller's responsibility to keep an eye on that. It's you as a player. It's your responsibility too to keep an eye on that. And maybe bring it up in case your storyteller might forget it. They'll be grateful to you for it because it makes for more interesting role playing. Flaws are meant to be obstacles too. They're not just free points that you can get. They're meant to be trouble for you, and they should be held up as such. Number two, the second biggest mistake for vampires is keeping an eye on your blood pool and feeding. Uh, Now, this one and the next one, it kind of relies on what type of an ST you have. If your ST is going to be keeping an eye on this, if your ST is going to be managing this, um, then you too will want to manage it and keep an eye on it. Because every time your character wakes up, they lose a blood point, according to the rules. And almost every time, you use your vampiric discipline, you're using up blood points. When you're healing, you're using up blood points. And your blood pool will get down low. If it gets too low, you can frenzy and just start attacking people willy-nilly and draining them of blood, causing a masquerade violation. Uh, so keeping track of your blood pool is important, and feeding is also important because you can't just assume, oh, I'm just going to go and feed. No. Uh, some storytellers may just let you go and feed. Other storytellers will require you to make rolls for how you're going to feed. Are you going to seduce somebody and drink their blood? Well, that's going to require you actually seducing them. So there's going to be rolls involved. If you fail those rolls, you may offend the person you're trying to seduce. They may slap you and stalk off. Are you going to hunt down animals? That could require a roll. Are you going to hunt down people? That could require a roll and may end up causing some authorities to get involved if you start dropping dead bodies everywhere. These are things that you need to keep in mind as a player because blood is paramount to vampires. It's what heals them, it's what fuels their disciplines, and it's what keeps them alive. So keeping track of your blood from day to day is important, and that's always going to fluctuate. Now, myself as an ST, if I'm giving the players, for example, if I'm saying you guys are going to have 2 weeks of downtime between what just happened and what's going to happen next, then in that 2 weeks, I tend to be like, yeah, fill up your blood pool. That's fine. Because you've had 2 weeks, there's plenty of time for your character to have gotten that. But if you are looking at it going night to night, then you may have to, you're definitely going to have to keep an eye on things with regards to how I run things. Possibly not your ST. That's the sort of thing you should talk to them about. And lastly, but not leastly, the top mistake, number one mistake that vampire players make, at least in my opinion, is they don't keep track of the day-night cycle. And this too is something that it's going to depend on your ST. Now, myself as an ST and my friend who I've mentioned in another video, he also keeps track of the day-night cycle. This day and age, depending on, basically, it doesn't really matter what year you're actually going to be doing it in. A quick Google search for sunrise and sunset times for this month, for example, for X month or X so many months, whatever year it is you're setting your campaign in, for this city on the world, will give you a complete breakdown. You can find it printed out on a couple pieces of paper, and you'll have these sunset and sunrise times for every day. So you will know exactly how much time your vampire is going to be awake. Because vampires are only awake during the night and they have to sleep during the day. And some STs aren't like that. They just kind of hand wave away that part of thing. But some STs like to keep track of that sort of thing because that can be uh, tension and danger for your vampire. If it's getting close to sunrise and they've got nowhere to, they're not even near home, they're out in the middle of nowhere. Uh, that can cause some tension for them. Uh, so it's the sort of thing to uh, keep in mind. Check with your ST always to see how they're going to handle it, and if they are going to keep track of it, it's something you're going to want to keep track of too. Uh, Always good keep good track of time. That day-night cycle is vitally important to vampires because, as I said, they are only active during the day. They may be able to go a handful of rounds once the sun's up or before the sun sets at night. They may be able to get up, but it's not usually for very long. So that's it. Those are the 5 mistakes that vampire players tend to make. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, if you like what I'm doing, please give that like button a tap. Give that subscribe button a tap as well if you haven't already, so you can be kept apprised of when I do new videos. And throw a comment in the comment section. Uh, what do you think? What mistakes do you think vampire players make? Can you think of any others? Can you think of any other ideas for videos that you think I should be doing for character class? Throw those comments in the comment section. Let me know. And until next time, you all keep rolling, and I'll see you around.